Oh, baby, things are heating up with the NFL Draft just 2 days away. There's a new report. Are the Patriots willing to trade the number 3 overall pick? We're going to dive into it in just a moment. I am Harrison Graham. This is Patriots Today by Chat Sports. And like I said, we are just 2 days away. If you're ready for the NFL Draft to finally be here, because the conflicting reports, the rumors, they're fun to talk about, but they are a bit exhausting as well. Hit the like button if you are just finally ready for one thing or the other to happen on Thursday night. But when Ian Rapoport talks, I listen. He says, while the Commanders and Patriots have received calls from teams attempting to move up for a quarterback, Washington has shown no indication it would move. For me and Mike Garafolo, New England would move for the right offer, but the Pats just haven't gotten such an offer yet. And I thought that was pretty blunt of they would move for the right offer. Now, the question is, what is that offer? Mike Reese, who's covered the Pats for ESPN for a while, had this quote today saying, I don't know how they have them rated, talking about the QB prospects, but do know that they are very, very motivated to come out of this draft with a QB. So, and he's kind of doubled down on that. He said that the other day as well. And I kind of look at it this way. This is what we know at this point. The Patriots need a QB. The Patriots want a QB. But as of this point, they have not shut the door on a trade. They just will not do it. Now, I don't think they should be so close-minded to completely shut that door. But, you almost wonder if deep down, does Elliot Wolf want to trade this pick? I mean, my read on this is that I do think New England is ready and wants to get a quarterback in this draft, but I think they like the idea of getting a massive trade offer for that number 3 pick. And I think when push comes to shove and they're on the clock on Thursday night, that clock is going to dwindle down to the last second because I think they're going to answer that phone. I think they're going to see what Minnesota wants to offer, what the Giants, maybe a mysterious third team, maybe Vegas or Denver gets involved. And they're going to see if some team will budge and give a historic offer for that selection. And then ultimately, Elliot Wolf will have to make a decision on what they end up doing. What would you do, Patriots fans, with the number 3 pick? If you would trade it, type T for trade. If you would just sit there and draft a quarterback, type D for draft. I think I would just sit there and take Drake Maye because it sounds like Jaden Daniels to Washington is close to a done deal. But what say you? Let me know down in the comments. Now, when I kind of look at this further, this is kind of how I tier out the quarterbacks in this draft. I've got Caleb Williams, tier 1. I think he's above everyone else. I do have Drake Maye ahead of Daniels, but I would put them in the same tier. JJ McCarthy and Michael Penix in tier 3. I think Penix is a better player, but he's older. He's got some injuries. McCarthy's younger. Maybe he's got, more of a, ceiling he could still hit, whereas maybe Penix is closer to a finished product. So I'll put them in the same tier. And then Bo Nix, Spencer Rattler, who I kind of view strictly as day 2 guys in that 4th tier. And the reason I want to break this down is here would be my question for Elliot Wolf. If you do trade down, do they like Penix, Nix, or Rattler, a.k.a. not the top 4 QB prospects that most people have, which of course is Caleb Maye, Jaden Daniels, and JJ McCarthy? Do they like one of those next guys enough to risk missing out on the top 3 or 4? Obviously, you're not going to get Williams. Do they like one of those guys enough? Because if you trade number 3, even if it's just to the Giants, and we'll kind of look at the scenarios in a minute, you are basically sitting there and saying, hey, we are accepting the risk of missing out on a top quarterback, especially if it's the Vikings. If you trade down to 11, sure, you can try to trade back up, maybe to 5 with the Chargers or 4 to Arizona, but there's no guarantee. Arizona might get a better offer than what you're trying to trade back up to get. And if you're trading down then trading back up, you want a net capital. So some other team might throw bigger stuff than you're willing to do. So if you're Elliot Wolf, the bottom line is this. If you trade the number 3 pick, you are telling yourself and your staff, hey, we are accepting the risk that we may not get one of the top 4 quarterbacks by moving down here. Are we cool with that? Because if you're not, then I don't think you can trade that pick. Okay. Keep it rolling here. Shout out to Game Time for sponsoring today's episode of Patriots Today. Listen, this is the best time to go out and have some fun. There are tons of sporting events you can go to. The Bruins are in the playoffs. The Celtics are in the playoffs. The Boston Red Sox have gotten their season underway as well. And if you want the best tickets for the lowest price guaranteed, Game Time is the place for you. Get $20 off with promo code ChatSports right now. Download the Game Time app in your app store. There's also a link in the comments and in the description. They're going to show you vantage points of different seats in the arena or the field or the stadium, wherever you go. That way you know exactly what you're going to be looking at, especially if it's a stadium you're not familiar with. Download the Game Time app today. Go check out your favorite sports teams, concerts, and everything else with Game Time. The best ticketing service app out there. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. It is Game Time. Okay. More reports on the number 3 pick. Are the offers laughable so far? Well, MassLive reporting that the offers that New England has received are laughable up to this point. And I guess my question to that would be is what qualifies as laughable? Like, I'll give you an example of laughable. Like, if Minnesota's only offering 11 and 23, I would say that's laughable. Like that is not nearly enough to go up and get that pick, but I'm not sure what would qualify as laughable. And we know in the last minute those offers are likely going to go up on draft night. Now, these are kind of my baseline thresholds of what I would want if I'm Elliot Wolf for this number 3 pick. And let's just use the 2 teams that are linked to wanting to trade up. The Vikings. I want 11 and 23, but I also want their first next year. You got to pay a premium to drop outside of the top 10. If you are New England. Like, you got to ask for a premium there. So, yeah, you're getting 2 firsts this year and a first next year. That's a lot, but that would be kind of my baseline threshold there. And then if it's the Giants, even though it's only to 6, again, you're still risking not getting a top 4 quarterback. I want 6, 47, and the Giants first next year. That's what I would ask. 6 this year, second-round pick this year, first next year. Move down 3 spots. You're still in range to potentially come back up to 4 or 5 to get a quarterback. I need at least that much. That's what I would want if I'm the Patriots front office. I don't know if Elliot Wolf can get that, but if they can't, I would just sit and take a quarterback because, again, I think Drake Maye is more than worthy of being the selection at number 3 overall. All right, fill in the blank for us. The Patriots' first draft pick will be blank. Whether it's at 3 or in a trade down, who will be the player that they get in round 1? Let us know what you guys think down in the comments below. And remember to join our Chat Sports live coverage. Every single pick of the 2024 NFL Draft can be seen live on Chat Sports. This is our thumbnail for round 1. So if you see this on YouTube, you're in the right place. Check the link below, youtube.com/chatsportstv. And we, of course, will have pick-by-pick analysis of what the Patriots are doing here on Patriots Today. So go ahead and subscribe and don't miss out on that. We'll also have our final mock draft tomorrow, so be on the lookout.